Now today we're here for some more league racing action, and this is WOR on PC, and once again we are in top split. If you want to see what happened last time we raced in top split, then I'll leave the previous race at Canada where we made history linked in the top right. Do watch it, I really recommend it, and it might be my best ever race on this game, so yeah, go check that one out. But today we're here for another episode. If you guys are going to enjoy the content, leave a like, subscribe for more, and let's get into it. So we're here again in top split, and that means a full qualifying, and we're currently in Q1, and the objective here was to get through on one set of tyres, so you know, that way saving a set for Q2 and Q3. Currently at the end of my first push lap though.
That's a new one.
You have a bit of a moment, and yeah, go pretty much the full way around, overheating the tyres. So what I'm going to do is just slow down
spin that was,
and cool the tyres down a little bit. So we're going to kind of run at this pace for at least 15 to 20 seconds longer, let the temperatures come down, and then we're going to go for another push lap basically, because once the temps are under control, these tyres are still going to be fine for a push lap. So now eventually we got back up to speed. You can see here we cleared the delta where we spun on the last lap, and now heading into the final two corners, we're going to round off the lap. Unfortunately, we invalidate, and that is massive and a big mistake.
I didn't get a single validation in practice doing that.
And as you can hear me say, in practice we didn't get a single invalidation running wide at turn 9. You can even run wider than that and not get a warning. So a bit of inconsistency with track limits from the game here, and unfortunately we had to use another set of tyres, which is not what I wanted to do. On this new set though, we were on a pretty decent lap. You can see here purple sector 1, personal best middle, and we're looking pretty decent here as we bring the car through the final couple of corners on this lap.
Got quite a bit of understeer. I'm not feeling the setup right now, I'm not going to lie.
You can hear me say I'm not really feeling the setup right now, but still we get the job done and do a 0.6 and move up into P8, and that lap will do the job for us, I believe, as we cut to the final results. Lewis Walsh, my teammate, seems to have pretty good pace around here, so he finishes P3, but look how close the grid is. The top 14 covered by less than 2.5 tenths, and it's really competitive. So we needed that lap because the you know, obviously the previous run wasn't good enough, so we had to go out again. Now in Q2 we're going to go on a set of mediums. My medium pace, similar to Zandvoort and PSGL, and also Canada in the last WR race. My pace on mediums is actually pretty strong, so we're going to try and get through. Most people are going to do this as well in terms of strategy, and we're going to run on board here for 2 consecutive laps to see how I got on with these tyres. So currently you can see a delta in the top right. The reason we have that is because I actually did a banker lap on one of the used sets of soft tyres from Q1, so essentially giving myself a bit of an idea as to what lap time I'm going for. We get a bit out of shape through turn 4, as you hear me say in the background, as we just lost the back end on entry, and I've lost a bit of time compared to what I want to be. The current reference time is a 1 minute 2.8. That's what I've set on that used set of tyres, which is, you know, pretty decent for a not fresh set of softs. Currently though, you can see about half tenth down, heading into the final 2 corners, trying to carry the speed here to end the lap on a high. The final corner, nicely done. Probably could have carried a bit more speed, but across the line we go, and it's going to be a 1 minute 2.9 on the nose. We go P6 at the time, and I knew that wasn't going to be enough, so I needed a second lap, which was always the plan anyways. You can see here already nearly a full tenth up here in the first sector, so this is much more like it and kind of the pace we're looking for. So into turn 3, third gear corner, trying to focus on the exit. We didn't really do a good job there. We lost about half a tenth, which is a bit frustrating. But still we're up by a fraction, heading down to turn 4, braking just after the 100, down to third gear. This time we don't lose the back end, keep it very clean. You can see here we actually get a bit of oversteer on the exit, but still a tenth up as we end sector number 2. Nice and early on the apex there through the left-hander, and we're a tenth and a half up, and purple in the middle sector apparently. Now through the little right-hander here where we spun in Q1, keeping it super tight on the exit, and now into the final 2 corners of the lap. At this point we're on for a mid-7. This is decent enough. I've just got to try and keep it on the island. Final corner, and then
no, fuck off. Ah, that's annoying.
And a big mistake, big mistake. There was more pace in it, you know, with the mistakes we made and stuff. We could have quite easily got like a low 7, possibly even a high 6. And it's going to be a shame because it's going to force us to go onto the soft tyre to get through, because we're currently P11. So this was not part of the script, so we're going to have to push. We need this lap right now, but at the same time, we are P11.
Just don't invalidate and I'll be fine.
Which isn't terrible, but I'm going to try and get through.
There it is, as I say that. Fucking hell.
Through the penultimate corner, we invalidate and then spin, so game over.
I don't half mind that, to be honest, but...
So I hear me say, I don't half mind that because, you know, P11 isn't too bad. Eventually, we got pushed down to P13, but if you look at the margins to P10, that lap that we invalidated would have been enough to get P8. And if we're talking about ideal pace, then I probably could have quite easily got P6 and just about behind Lewis, or more or less on the same kind of pace. So a bit of a shame, really. We didn't maximise qualifying because the pace was there, the practice paid off, the setup felt good, and our pace in the mediums was really, really competitive. So a bit of a shame we couldn't get that done, but it's good news that at least Lewis Welch, our teammate in the Ferrari, has got through a medium, so hopefully he can have a decent race. But we're going to start the race from P13, so yeah, let's jump into it. Now here we are, formation lap, as we get ready for the start of the race. And we're going to start the hard compound tyre. We're going to go a bit left field with it, a little bit different on strategy. I'm the only car who's starting on this compound, so we're going to see how that works for us. And it may give us a bit of a difference in strategy. There's possible rain at the end of the race, but it's the very last icon on the weather forecast, so the chances of it aren't very high. Nonetheless though, 5 lights are on here at Austria, and we're underway. It's a decent start actually on the hards. We get a slightly better start than Joe on the right, and we're going to go around the outside here into the first corner, finding a bit of space, having a look at Thomas Harvey as well, but he's on softs, so he gets pretty decent traction. We've got contact at the back as McLaren is backwards there at turn 1, and now up to turn 3. What line are we going to pick? We're going to go for the outside here and go super wide, trying to find a bit of space, and actually Joe goes back up the inside there with that massive open space, and we lose a place to him, but still a P13 back where we started, not too bad, and I don't mind this. But what you're going to see now is a bit of an unfortunate trend nowadays with league racing, and something that really annoys me, and I'm going to ramble about this in this video at times, but just general driving standards and driving etiquette. Now, Warren goes for a move here, fair enough, you know, he's entitled to go for that of course, but just in general, when you're league racing and you run on a hard tyre, or let's say everyone's on softs and you're the only one on a medium, for example, you tend to get targeted and people will just drain their battery or dive bomb, you know, or just go for any kind of not realistic move just to get past you. You can see Warren's been trying here for half a lap. Eventually I just had to accept it and let him go because we're going to lose too much time if I try to battle, which means I have to give up the position. We've now got Jake Benham behind, who's super fast, of course. He started P20, and I'm not going to waste too much time battling him because I know he's a really fast driver, so I'll let him go as well. And to be fair, Jake goes for a pretty fair move up the inside of turn 3. It's quite a realistic overtake, so we'll let that one go. I'm going to try and stay with him. I don't want to get exposed to the cars behind if possible. Down to turn 4, and we're now P15. There's contact up ahead as Akinci and both Alphas are involved, and we're straight back up to P12 now thanks to that incident. So not too bad so far. We'd probably be P10 had obviously Jake and Warren not got through, but still we're P12 for now. We've got Lenny Papinter ahead of us, who of course I think may have been involved in that. And look at this, see, this is what I mean. Quickly go for the move into turn 9. This isn't really an overtaking place, but you know, again, whatever, I'll let you go by because I don't want to waste time, and you know, I want to do my own race. But it's just a stereotypical, like, because you're on the hard tyre, everyone just likes to abuse and just think, okay, I'm just going to fucking send it here and you're going to move out of the way. And as you can hear me say, I was getting annoyed because it just happens all the time. You know, you go for a harder tyre, people automatically think that the hard tyre's like 2 seconds off the pace, and you'll just get constantly dive bombed. Anyway, lap 5, and we're just about holding on to DRS. I had a couple of issues through turn 1 on multiple laps as we get our first warning for track limits, and we're just holding it down right now. P13, we're not doing too bad as we go on to lap 6. Midway through the lap though, we get a yellow behind, and Luke Smith has crashed and retired. So first one of the race, and we actually get a safety car from that. So similar to PSGL around Monza a couple of days ago, which if you haven't seen the video, I mean, you can go hard to the rain if it does fall. Then I'll leave that video linked in the top right. But basically, we started the mediums in that race. The safety car came out, and that pretty much benefits everyone to pit early and get a free pit stop. And we have to go long because we are on the harder tyre. So we're going to have to stay out. I can't all over the place. It felt pretty good at first, but the car's very on edge. You can hear me say the car generally is actually on pace. It's not too far off. Like the hard tyre is actually competitive, but it's a bit unpredictable and a bit unstable, and that's kind of the risk you take. But in general, I was really surprised and impressed
Oh, as if Joe's jumped me.
The hard tire was actually quite competitive in the first stint, and I'll bear that in mind for future races. But we're now P3 behind Cookie and Shizu Nomzi. And I'm just getting a quick weather forecast there to see if that rain is, you know, anywhere in the air, which it isn't right now. But yeah, hard tires on. And now you're going to see some controversy. I didn't report this because I can't be bothered. You know, you'll see why later on. But a bit of stupid driving.
Fuck's sake. Why is he still turning on me like that? Got a 5 second. Fucking bullshit. Why did he keep turning in like that for? I'm staying to the right to stay out of his way. What the fuck? I might pin and get the penalty out of the way. Cookie.
You could pick the softs and go back on hards. It's up to you. Or just go on mediums or something.
What tire are you on?
A lot are on hards.
So this is the point where my race unravels and falls apart. It's really unfortunate, but it's just the reality. So we get a 5 second time penalty for something that was completely not my fault. And I'm going to have to serve it my pit stop anyway, so I may as well try to find a way around it.
If the safety car doesn't pit, I'll pit again for hards.
And as you can hear me say, if the safety car doesn't come in this lap, we'll box again. But we're just going to go into a set of softs for now, just so that I can get the hard tire off the car and get this penalty out of the way, basically, and clear it so that I can get back in the race.
She's gone for the soft
because I'm expecting a lot of penalties this race, you know, with track limits around here. So we get the penalty off, and we're now clean again. But we are now down to P15. We've lost all of our positions, and we're now on the softs. Somehow we have to give this place back. What? I was ahead. Oh, this game is fucking doing my head in. Oh. And you can see again another little frustrating moment, but we lose another place, which, you know, wasn't fair. We was clearly ahead, but the game decides otherwise. And we're now back on the way for the restart. So I thought there's a bit of a brake check here. Luckily, we kept space and kept our distance. But yeah, underway for the restart. P8. Unfortunately, the safety car came in that lap, so I wasn't able to pit again and go back onto those hard tyres. So we're out of sync, and I don't know where we are now in our strategy. We're a bit lost, which is a bit unfortunate. So we're going to just try and do the best we can and hope for another safety car and see what happens. Either way, lap 9 up towards turn 3, more controversy. What the fuck has happened here? God damn it, man.
Damage.
Yeah.
MFD for a new
But
strategy option.
what? I swear he just lagged out. He wasn't even there. Now, you know, I'm sorry to bring this kind of racing to you guys, to be honest, because it really just it annoys me. Lenny goes off the track. He's got a 3 second time penalty. There was a massive brake check. I don't know what happened there. If you watch it back, there was like some lag going on because there was like a really sharp stoppage on track. I left plenty of space. I broke very early. But there was like just a massive just stop to 0 kilometers an hour. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, front wing damage, and we're going to have to pit anyway. There's no safety car, so we're going to be in trouble here.
I'm going to go hard.
And
I got mediums.
For anyone wondering, we can cross the white lines. We was told in the briefing there's no need to stick to the white lines in pit entry. Either way, we're going to pit again, and this really messed up my race because now we're going to have to pit. We're going to get a front wing change. I'm going to go for the mediums, so we're going to get those on the car, and it's a fresh set. But this now does mean that I no longer have any fresh tyres remaining in this race. The freshest compound we have is the soft tyre that we just got off. So that's the only kind of really soft tyre we have. Besides this medium tyre, we've got the hards that we started on. They're on about 20% wear. And we've got another set of mediums from qualifying that are also about 15 to 10% wear. So we don't have any fresh rubber. Nonetheless, though, we've got to work on the mediums. We set a purple lap on lap 12. And try to push on here. You can see we've got Warren and Christian Sendel ahead of us. Another personal best on lap number 13 up to P14. Now someone was in the pit lane, I think retiring. And we're just trying to fight back in this race, though. We get another warning.
Fucking turn 1, honestly.
For turn 1, which was pissing me off. We skip on to lap 15, and we've got another incident. JST has retired from the race, and this is huge. Oh, yes. Fuck. Thank God for that.
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety
now we
car
can
right
race.
now.
Let's go.
Now, as happy as I was about this, the reality was, and I didn't realise at the time, as I mentioned before, I don't actually have any fresh tyres remaining. We're a bit too far to go mediums to the end because the mediums that I have about 15 to 10% wear. The hard tyre also is on about 20%, and the softs aren't going to go 20 laps. So it's really difficult at this stage. So I decided to go for the hard tyre that we started the race on. Again, it's got about 20%, but I haven't got any other tyres. It is what it is. I've got to try and make it work and see what happens. So hard tyre on and back on the way.
Yeah, I'll go hard, so I'll be able to make this work.
And I felt pretty confident at the time, but I was quite wrong.
I mean, I've got to make it work. My hards are on 20% as well. Literally, all my tyres are on 20%, but the hards obviously will wear a bit slower than the medium, so I could have maybe gone softs, because they are fresh. I mean, it says used, but they're on like 0% or 1%.
But as you can hear me say, I probably wouldn't have made it on softs anyway. So, yeah, back on the way now for the restart. And P13, we actually got caught out by the restart quite badly this time. You know, I was having flashbacks to the previous one, so I left plenty of space, and it backfired. Nonetheless, again, you're going to see a bit more racing etiquette that I'm not a big fan of, but whatever. So for context, obviously the car behind and the one behind that have time penalties. Realistically, you know, even if you pass me, you're going to finish behind me anyway, because I'm going to get you back with the penalty. But again, because I'm on the hard tyres, similar to the first stint, even though the car behind is on hards as well, people will just use all of their battery to get by. You know, it makes a lot more sense, in my opinion. If you're a racer, you can see everything that's happening ahead of us right now, you know, all the battling that's going on. Just relax, you know, no one's going to pull away because they're all losing time battling amongst themselves, and you get to save ERS, but, you know, other people want to try and force the hand a little bit, and, you know, in this case, Lenny's going to try and get past us here. He's going to try for about 2.5 laps, quite aggressively. All fair, you know, I understand it all, but I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting old for league racing or whatever, but I just don't understand how the younger guys race nowadays. Either way, yellow flag.
Oh shit, what happened there?
Big crash again. This is what I mean. There's no need to rush. You know, it's only lap 18. You've got plenty of time left, but people treat it like it's the last lap of the race. You know.
Oh, how's that a pen?
As Lewis Walsh gets a penalty there, I think for track limits, but
what, instant 3 seconds?
No, I went wide at like the entry of turn 1.
But here comes Lenny then, and up ahead we've got 2 wide action as well with Jeffrey and Christian Sendel. Into turn 3, Richie off the track. We managed to hold on, but Lenny gets a pretty decent exit. He's going to be right on our rear left, and now right on our gearbox on the run down to turn 4. We have to go defensive and cover the inside. And now you're going to see a good example of racecraft, in my opinion, and how at least, you know, me and Lenny in this case did a good job. And also I'm going to, you know, give myself a pat on the back here for leaving the racing room and being very fair. You can see we go around the outside of turn 5, and we're going to try and make a stick now around the outside of turn 6, 7. And we do pull off a lovely overtake there to stay ahead of the Aston Martin, and we keep him behind for now, but we're just losing time to the cars ahead at this rate, battling this heavily, which is not what I want to be doing. And then unfortunately, oh fuck, the icing on the cake, penalty, and you can see the frustration. Now I will say, the game actually gave me a double warning for that one, so I got the 3rd warning for the penalty, and I got a 4th warning from that same extension. So I'm actually on 4 warnings right now, which I didn't know at the time. I thought I was on 3, so bear that in mind for later. But heading up to turn 3 again, you can see the cars behind there battling, and I think someone completely missed their brake point into turn 3. But again, they're going to keep coming at me.
God, leave me alone. Stop using all the ERS.
You can hear me say, just leave me alone, stop using all the ERS. There's more contact up ahead.
So
Flores spun round. You can hear me say in the background, the race is getting very dirty. And this is the reality. I don't know what it is with safety cars, but people just start to go crazy and have no patience or, you know, rhythm. Or, you know, just give it a couple of laps, man. You know, take a time and see what happens. But no, people got to send it, you know. Oh, just fucking give it a rest. You can hear me say again, just like, give it a rest. But no, Lenny kept on coming, you know, kept on pushing. Turn 3, I've got to brake early because of the cars ahead. And you can see everyone's off the track. It's all going a bit crazy, but this time Lenny makes the move. And now obviously Felipe, because he doesn't want to lose sight of Lenny, he wants to try and go for the move as well. So he's going to try and get past on the outside here, which isn't going to happen. So we're going to hold the inside line again, side by side with Lenny, but this time he just gets ahead into the left-hander. And I'm not going to bother trying to go on the outside this time round. So we'll slot in for P12 for now. I'm not going to go for the rear overtake. I'm not that desperate. We'll just chill out for now and see what happens. But instead, now you're going to see a car into the pit lane here, so it's going to cause a bit of trouble. So we need to be careful through turn 9. He easily does it as Cookie goes into the pit lane, and we're going to form up in this little train here. But look at this, Felipe putting the pressure on as we've got a few more cars in the pits, so we're now P11 in this race. heading up to turn 1. We're going to try and keep it clean. We get hit in the back, I think, from Felipe there. And you can hear me getting, again, more frustrated. And now, because of that hit in the back, I lost all momentum on the exit. And that's going to mean Felipe can now go for the move around the outside here. So I have to try and defend. I leave room on the left, racing room, so that he can, try and make the overtake. But again, that move happens because he hit me into turn 1. If he doesn't hit me, I can stay ahead. But again, people just, they got to go for these moves. So it is what it is. So yeah, Felipe goes through. Meanwhile, Lenny's making progress up ahead. He's trying to make the move on a Mercedes. And we've now got Chanakinchi behind us. And you're going to see a little bit of lag now because I'm not a dirty driver, but this happened, which is about unfortunate. And you'll see right now on the exit here.
I mean, I got nothing for that.
Okay, the incident has been cleared.
Nothing at all.
Let's get back up to racing speed.
Right, my race is over.
And you hear me say my race is over. That warning now means I can't look back and maybe, go to the stewards and argue some of those previous warnings. That pretty much is a slam dunk. Now that's my 4th warning, which was actually my 5th warning, which I didn't know about. And you saw the contact with Akinci. I had no idea about it. It's just a bit of lag. And unfortunately he DNF, which I apologise for, but that's just unfortunate. I'm not a dirty driver, so I'm not going to take any responsibility for that. That's just the game being annoying. So yeah, now lap 23, you can see there's more battling up ahead. I'm just trying to mind my tyres, which are much more worn than everybody else's. I'm going to pit.
Joe, you're so bad.
And you can hear Lewis get frustrated there as he goes for a spin. There's contact with Joe. Another crash in this race, and you can hear me say, I'm going to pit. I'm going to roll the dice. Why not? We may as well go for it.
What are these standards of driving?
Just tries to shove me off the track at turn 4.
I was going to pit, but you can pit. I'll leave it to you. I won't.
No, that's alright, I'm retiring.
So here you say that I was going to stay out, but Lewis said I can pit, so we're going to go ahead and box. Again, there's no reason to stick to white lines in pit entry, so we're going to push.
But no,
and somehow,
no, I didn't. I made it.
I didn't speed.
Fuck.
I got very lucky there, but we're going to box. We're going to go for the soft tyres that we had 1 lap on earlier on in the race and hope they work.
Exit now.
I'm trying to go soft because everyone's fucking battling and wasting time, so I can probably catch up on these and then catch everyone out.
Now the plan is to get the soft tyre on and go flat out and just see if we can fight back, basically. You can see up ahead we've got about 15 seconds to the next car. So we're going to push on. We've got Josh and Flores in the pit lane on lap 24, so we'll gain
more cars are pitting. I think they're going to realise
a couple of places. I'm kind of relying on some tyre wear, maybe some punctures and people struggling, and possibly rain at the end. You can see the gap now down to 13.5 seconds to Pedreño, and basically we just spent the next few laps just chipping away. Gap now down to 11.5. Just setting personal best and running at a pretty decent pace on these tyres. Oh, fuck off! How's that? Oh, I give up. And you can hear the frustration. I was getting annoyed because I ran off the track, but I didn't actually gain time. I lost the back end into the corner. If you watch it back, I actually just had a bit of a snap of oversteer, so I ran off the track. And I got my in-game 6th warning, which was actually my 5th one. So technically right now I'm still on 3 seconds. We skip all the way to the last lap of the race. I got the gap down to like 4.5 seconds to the cars ahead, but at this point my tyres were going off. I had nothing left on ERS. And yeah, pretty much game over. The good news is we are within 6 seconds of Ruben Pedreño if you take away one of my 3-second penalties, and we should finish and get a point today. But my god, this race was painful. But yeah, there we go. Results are in, confirmation, and we finished P11. Based off the stewards' inquiries, I did get one of my 3-second penalties removed, so by that logic, I should be ahead of Pedreño and scoring a point. There were some other post-race penalties added to, like Felipe, for example, in P5. But even then, I think he got 10 seconds added, and he's still not. I'm still not within penalty range to benefit. So, yeah, this race was a write-off. There's no standings because right now there's a lot of confusion and a lot of let's say, uncertainty, both in PSGL and WOR, because obviously the esports drivers very shortly are going back into esports season, so there's going to be a bit of a reshuffle, and the league's going to have to readjust the splits and all the drivers. So there's no point looking at standings now because I've got like half my points in F2, half my points in F1, and it's just kind of irrelevant right now. But hopefully in a couple of races we'll have some clarity and a bit of a direction to go into. Either way, that's going to be it from me here today, guys, for this episode. If you enjoyed the carnage and my opinion, regarding league racing, then leave a like, subscribe for more, and as always, a big shout out to members of the channel. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.